Hey everyone. So I am recording this video to walk you through class expectations and procedures for virtual learning. And so if you think way back to the first day of school, this is exactly what we did. And it's almost like we are kind of starting this school year over again. So I feel like it's important for me to go over these expectations. Make sure that as you are listening to the video, that you fill out your questions that you have so that you don't have to go back and watch it again. You can pause the video as you listen to do anything that you need to. So go ahead and if you need to, pause the video so you can get that first question answered for part one. And then the questions for communication are really for you to have a chance to self-reflect. I'm spending so much time reaching out to students right now, and it feels like almost that's what I'm spending my day doing rather than teaching. Um, I've set very high expectations for you from the beginning of the year. You guys know, like, I don't accept missing work. I don't accept work that's incomplete. I don't accept work that you didn't put effort into. Everything you've done, I've asked you to do things that you are proud of. I've asked you to do things with 100% effort every time. And I've asked you to focus, and I've tried to teach you strategies to do that and give you motivation to want to be a better version of yourself. And most of you are following those expectations and still getting your assignments done. But if I have even just 10 students that don't, and I'm having to constantly text and call and be like, hey, where's your work? Did you do your homework? Did you do your independent assignment? Where's your schedule? It's a lot. And so, what I'm asking from you is to make sure that you are communicating with me. If something is going on, please make sure that I know. If you don't understand an assignment, I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, ways you can reach out to me and get help. But I need you to make sure that your assignments are getting done. I should not be spending my day reminding you to do your work. That is still an expectation, and that's not going to change until the very last day of school. Okay, so please make sure you take a minute to answer all the questions under communication. Question number 4 asked you to give me the 2 best ways to communicate with you. If you're saying you want me to text you, make sure you put your phone number there. If you're saying you want me to message you on Instagram, make sure you put your Instagram name there, just to make sure that I use the right one. And if any of this ever changes, you need to communicate with me. You need to let me know. Okay. So moving on to part 2, required work. Again, make sure you are ready to fill out all of the questions that go with this. So there are 2 ways that you can submit your Achieve annotations, and you guys should know by now that we are submitting them on Google Classroom. I have 90 students, so 90 times 2 is 180 pictures. That's a lot of pictures. So I need you to make sure that your annotations are getting submitted on Google Classroom. You can either upload a picture of your handwritten annotations, or you can type your annotations into a Google Doc and submit it that way. If you are not sure how to submit a picture, there's a document Hayden typed up, and it has directions on here for how to submit either using your phone or using your computer. So thank you very much, Hayden, for doing that. The next thing that I need to go over is when I am grading your assignments. So if you have not completed your independent assignment from week 1, that is your student schedule, you need to stop this video, hit pause, and you need to go back and do that now. Because what I did was I went through all of the schedules that you created, and I created a schedule for myself. And this is called the Work Turn-In Days document. You have access to this on Google Classroom. It is listed underneath of virtual learning. So you need to see what are the days that you said you were going to turn in your assignments. Now, some of you may decide that you are going to make changes to this. If you decide you're going to turn in your work on different days, then you need to update your schedule so I can see when you are doing your work. The reason I'm doing this is I want you to actually stick to your schedule. So if you said you're going to do both Achieves on Tuesday, I'm expecting them to be turned in on Tuesday. All right? Now, the one thing that a lot of you may have to change is going to be this independent assignment. A lot of you chose your turn-in date to be Friday. Once I get to that part, it's going to be important that you understand why you might not want to turn it in on Friday. Okay, I'd probably recommend turning it in at least by Thursday so that if you need to fix anything, you can go back and do so and still get 100 on it by Friday. Okay, so make sure you get those questions answered. You guys have access to this document, so you can go on and fill out those questions that go with this part. Your collaborative assignment, which is what you do during your check-in. In 8th grade, we're starting this not this week, but next week after we finish Dear Martin. So your collaborative assignment is due the hour after your check-in. So I am able to go on and grade it immediately following your check-in. Remember that you are not allowed to leave your check-in until your group finishes their work. So if you have something right after your check-in with me, we need to work together and we need to see if there's a different time that your group can check in because you have to have at least an hour blocked off for your check-in with me. So make sure that you know when your check-in is. It should be on your student schedule and it's also on my schedule as well. So you can check both of those places. There are 3 ways you can get to your check-in, 3 ways you can get to the Zoom link. So the first is by going to my schedule, and this will take you to the Zoom link. The second is you should have the link on your schedule. And then the third is that I put a link on our assignment spreadsheet that will take you to my schedule, and that way you can get the link to your Zoom. So 3 different ways that you can get to the Zoom link for your check-in. If something comes up and you are unable to make your check-in time, you need to make sure that you reach out to me at least a day in advance, and that when you reach out and say, Miss Berkey, I cannot make my check-in time this week, I have a doctor's appointment or I have to babysit, you need to tell me what check-in you're going to join. So that means before you tell me that you can't come, you need to go onto my schedule and you need to tell me which group you are jumping in with, just so that I know that you are going to be missing your assigned check-in and you will join in with another group. Every check-in, you're going to need to have a couple of things. And again, 8th grade, this will start next week after we finish Dear Martin. So everyone needs to have open, when you get to your check-in, you need to have the assignment spreadsheet open so that you can initial saying that you attended your check-in. And then you also need to have your collaborative document open. And that will be something that is shared with you on Google Drive. That's an assignment that you will be working on with your group. So you'll need to make sure that is open because that's what we're going to spend the majority of our check-in doing. All right. As far as your assignments go, all assignments are due by Friday at 3 p.m. So you need to make sure that all of your work is done by Friday at 3 p.m. So that's one reason that I would definitely say I would not have your independent assignment to be completed on Friday. I would do it earlier in the week because if you get marked orange for your independent assignment and the first time I checked it was on Friday, that means it's going to be late because you have to go back and fix it. If you cannot have orange boxes, if something is marked orange, you have to fix it. Okay, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. So if you do turn in an assignment late for Achieve, if it's turned in after 3 p.m., and I don't care if it's 3:01 on Friday, it is late. If it's turned in late, you are going to get your first try score for Achieve. And if it's your independent practice assignment, it's 10 points off for each day. So if you turn it in Friday night, you're going to get 10 points off. You turn it in Saturday, you're getting 20 points off. Turn it in Sunday, you're getting 30 points off, so on and so forth. So I need you to make sure all of your work is done on time. Friday at 3 p.m. is when everything must be turned in by. All right. So I need to talk about this assignment spreadsheet because this is probably the number one thing that is driving me crazy. You should check this document every single day. You should have it open. This and your student schedule are the 2 things that you need to have open at all times so that as soon as you finish an assignment, you fill this out. 8th grade, this is especially important for you guys right now, because as you can see, when I'm looking at the homework, it looks like not everyone completed their homework. And I guarantee when I go on that more people have completed their homework than this. I need you filling this out as soon as you complete an assignment, because if you don't fill it out, I'm not grading it. If I go to grade it and your initials are not in here, you don't get graded for it. You have to fill out the spreadsheet. Okay. If I mark a box orange, you can see up at the top, that means it is incomplete or it is incorrect. Something is wrong with it. So what you need to do is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and I'm going to make a comment. And I might say, document was blank. Okay, now what you need to do when you go on and you see you have an orange box is you need to click on the box so that you can see what the comment is and what you need to fix. Okay, if you go, when, not if, when you go back to fix it, fix what I'm telling you to fix, and then you need to come back on here and you need to make this box clear again. If this box is still orange, I'm not checking your work again. You have to go on and clear this. This is the only thing that indicates to me that you fixed it. So I need you to make sure you do that and resolve my comment. Okay. As far as your independent assignment goes, I touched on this a little bit, but what happened last week was that a lot of people didn't do it correctly, and then they didn't, and it wasn't done until Friday. So by the time I checked it, it was late. I would strongly recommend that if you said you're doing your independent assignment on Friday, that you change that. I strongly recommend that you make your independent assignment due at least by Thursday. That gives me a chance to check it. And if I mark your box orange, you can fix it Friday before 3. That way you can still get a good grade on it. Because if your box is left orange on this spreadsheet after Friday at 3 p.m., it is considered late. You will not get full credit for the assignment. You have to fix whatever I tell you to fix. Okay, last couple things here. If you need help on something, 3 before me rule applies. Again, there's 90 of you, so I need you to make sure that if you need help on something, you ask 3 students before you ask me. Please make sure you follow that. I put most of you guys are in a group on Instagram. Ask your group first and see if they know. Okay, and if they don't know, then I will jump in and answer. On my schedule, you will see that I added on Friday office hours. So this will take you to a Zoom link, and you can join in on the office hours if you need help with anything or if you have questions. And guys, that can be school related or not. That's basically just for me to go on, and if you need, help with an assignment, great. But if you're just going through something and you need to talk, I'll be there for you for that as well. And then the last thing is about incentives. If you have any ideas for incentives, I'm doing the Postmates thing right now. If you haven't seen that on Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram and you'll see me do that every Monday. But other than that, I'm struggling to come up with ideas that aren't really expensive. So if you have any ideas for what I can do for incentives, please let me know. Put that in your box so that I can read those. And I hope that you guys will give me some creative ideas, because I do want to keep you motivated and I do want to recognize you guys who are doing your work and doing a really great job. And then the answer to your last question is I bought myself some AirPods and I'm super excited about it. So now I can work out and not have like wires everywhere when I'm working out. Yes. All right. If you need more help with this assignment, please let me know. If you missed anything, go back and look for it again. And make sure this is turned in by Friday at 3 p.m. Thanks, guys.